one thing a lot of dads do is take really crappy pictures of their kids. What we want to do is teach you how to take a picture you actually want to frame and hang in your house somewhere instead of burying in the back of a photo album with all those other red-eye shots. So to help us is Johnny Tran with JT Images and his son Jonas. First, Johnny, talk about the kind of weather you like to shoot in.
Well, I prefer to shoot in overcast weather. I think overcast is a nice time to shoot. What happens is the clouds act as a big giant softbox, same kind of softbox you see in the studio. So the light's nicely diffused when it comes through, and what it does is it prevents, harsh shadows on people's faces and eye squinting and those kind of things. So yeah, an overcast day is a really nice time to be.
So basically the exact opposite of what we have right now. Almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
We often talk about or hear about composition of pictures.
Yeah.
Talk about composing a photograph. What do you have to keep in mind?
Well, composition of the photograph is very important. One of the old age rules of art is something called the rule of thirds. It's been around for a long time. And basically what the rule of thirds says is that instead of centering your subject in the middle of the frame, you want to try to shoot them off to the side a little bit. And by doing that, it allows the viewer to actually explore the photo a little bit more than just looking at the subject. They see what's around it as well too. I also keep in mind, make sure I fill the frame with the subject as well too. I don't want any distracting elements that shouldn't be there. Especially when I'm shooting kids, I like to get nice and close with them. The pictures become a little bit more intimate. I look for compositional opportunities such as lines, direction of light, maybe using somehow to frame my subject as well too. In the photo, you can use arches and stuff like that as a frame.
Like even a playground like this, there's all kinds of natural frames.
Yeah, exactly. Shooting through the bars is a frame. Shooting them through the slide there. The slide has a frame. You can use that as well too. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities. Okay, so what I'm looking at here right now is I got some nice light coming through here. As you can see, it's lit on Jonas there. And I got this arch here and I got these bars. So I want to use these bars as lines in my composition, but I also want to use them as a frame to frame them inside my photo as well too. Smile for daddy. Jonas. Yeah.
And when you're shooting a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, you're also approaching it differently than when you're shooting, a couple on their wedding day, a couple of grown-ups, right?
Yeah, exactly. I approach them a lot differently. I like to play with the kids. I like to interact with them. I want them to do things naturally. I want them to be themselves. And of course, when I'm shooting them, I want to get down to their level as well too. I don't want to stand over them with this huge camera. I'll look like an imposing figure. So I get down a little bit down to their level, a little bit more down to their level, and the pictures look nicer that way.
Do you have to distract them, or how do you keep them busy before? Because I know my kids go ballistic after sitting still for about 2 minutes.
Oh, that's the thing. I don't make them sit still. I let them play. I let them do their own thing so that they're happy, so that they stay interested. And also the other tricks that I like to do is I like to show them their picture.
Now we're moving inside, where a lot of people are going to be taking pictures of their kids. So as a professional, what do you look for when you're shooting inside?
When I'm shooting inside, the first thing I look for is light. Good quality light is very important in any photograph. So the first thing I do is I'll look for a window, preferably a north-facing window. Being here in Canada, the sun is usually to the south of us. So the south-facing windows, you get really harsh, direct light. And with the north-facing window, you get this nice, soft light.
But doesn't the flash take care of that for you?
A flash doesn't solve problems. And actually, if anything, it makes the picture look uglier, in my opinion. Because the flash is direct on camera, it goes straight to your subject from the camera on the same axis as the lens. And by doing that, you've basically drowned out all the shapes and all the contours that you're going to get from directional light. So lighting with the flash gives you really a flat look to it. If I'm shooting my kid right here, I'm going to look for, first of all, the light and see if I can use anything here that could be dramatic. And we have some shadows here that we can use to create some drama. There's some steps here that we can use for depth, and there's lots of lines here too. So we have a lot of stuff here that we can use to make a really cool photograph.